Hey guys, welcome to Tex Threads. Today we're going to be talking about hooping. So hooping is probably one of the most basic things you're ever going to do for embroidery. The hoop has two parts to it, very simple. You can get them constructed, so we buy ours that are already made. Some people actually choose to make their own hoops and they make them out of wood. I'm not that skilled, so we're going to get the pre-made and bought ones. Now a hoop has two parts. You have a little ring, which is going to go underneath the garment that you're working with, and then you have the top part. This is the part that's actually going to connect to your machine. So we use the Avance 1501, and that's our embroidery machine. This is how it connects. So when you're hooping an item, there's a couple things you need to think about. So first, you know what you're hooping. You need to kind of figure out what backing you're going to be using with that. So for today, we're just using a t-shirt as an example, and we're going to show you two different ways. We're going to show you the wrong way to hoop, and then we'll show you the right way to hoop. So when we're hooping the shirt, first, you want to get the position that you're actually looking to hoop. So right now, we're just going to use the bottom of the shirt as a test part. So what you'll do, starting off, is you'd end up putting your hoop underneath the shirt. Now, most of the time, you're going to need some sort of stabilizer to go underneath the shirt itself or with the hoop. So we'll just take one of our pre-made sheets over here. This is a cutaway. It's a 2.5 ounce cutaway. And we're going to put that right on top of the hoop. So what this is going to do is this is going to lay right on top. So when we put this here and we actually hoop it together and we put it together, this is going to keep the actual shirt from stretching or having any sort of problems when we stitch it out. Because if we don't have a stabilizer, the shirt will often collapse in on itself from the stitches. Now, hooping is extremely simple. So we do recommend getting a hoop tool to help you measure. But today we're just talking about actually hooping. So once you get everything kind of set up, you can use your top part to see where your hoop's at and you can line it up, and it's real simple. All you're doing is without stretching, because you don't want to stretch the shirt, you don't want to pull it in any way, you want to keep it nice and flat to keep your surface good, and then you're just going to push in. So when you push in, there's two things that you could mess up on. So the first part is you could be too tight. So this is where playing with it and learning your hoops would come into play. So we got this hoop now, you can see the back of it, and all we did is we took the backing and we took the hoop and it just squished together. Now this is going to hold our garment together so we can actually put it into the machine and we're going to embroider within this space right there. Now if we were to take this off, it's going to tell us a couple things. So if you look closely onto the shirt, you can see these little lines right there. Like you can actually see the hoop of the shirt itself. Now what this is called a hoop burn. This is what not to do. So a hoop burn is when you have your hoop, your back of the hoop, way too tight. So this is where experimenting would come into place, especially right before you do a project. And we would recommend you use oftentimes they have these little screws that will allow you to tighten or loosen the hoop up. So we're going to loosen it up and we're going to try this again. And we're going to see if we can get a good hoop without the hoop burn. Because you don't want to present anything you have that's got a hoop burn on it. It looks very unprofessional. So hooping properly would be key to that. So again, we get your garment ready. Get all set up. This time it went in a whole lot easier. So if you look at the back this time, it's going to look the same. So it looks the same when you hoop it. The only difference is it's a lot looser. And then when you're checking these, oftentimes people can do what's called a drop test. So you just kind of shake it a little bit and make sure that the back of the hoop doesn't come off. So as long as the back of the hoop isn't coming off when you shake it, you can see it kind of came out a little bit. So we may need to tighten just a little. And we can do that while the hoop is on the garment. So we'll just tighten up just a little bit, but not too much. Again, we're just trying to avoid that hoop burn and get you guys going from there. So when you take the product off, you remove it, you're not going to have that same circle show up as you had right there. So you can see all the burns closely, and right there it's just regular. Alright guys, thanks for joining Tex Threads, and again, have a good day.